territoriality and cross-border transaction, territoriality or effect of the patent and cross-border transaction. The patent is a kind of this is a very easy to understand. Here. Let me show you the movie. This is the invention is about storage for used diaper. I had young children before, and used diaper is usually hated by everybody. Thank you. Oh, it's gone. Okay. I'm sorry. I could only find Japanese site, but you can see the structure by the movie. This is the basic structure of the storage. There is a storage, and inside it there is a plastic bag. And if you put the used diaper in it, and if you turn the small lever on the top of the storage, the plastic bag is kind of twisted, and used diaper is shut in this small cell, and the smell doesn't go out. You can see the movie. This is how it works. And the storage consists of paper bag, plastic bag on the storage. And the storage plastic bag can be replaced by this small cassette. Again. This is a cassette. And the patentee had patents both on this storage and the cassette. And I'm going back to presentation. This one, okay. Oh, thank you so much. They have patents both in storage and cassette, and the infringer manufactured this cassette, which can be used in this storage. And in this case, the issue is related to the geographical situation. The plaintiff was actually a UK company, British company, who manufactured a product in UK, in England, and exported to Japan. And they had a distributor in Japan. This is a separate company. And distributor imported from UK the product and sold it in Japan. And defendant was a Japanese company who produced the third-party supply in Japan and sold in Japan. And plaintiff sued Japanese company. And the issue was that the plaintiff doesn't make or doesn't sell any product in Japan. They are not using the patented invention in Japan. In such situation, whether plaintiff can sue or enforce the patent in Japan or not, that is an issue. Okay, I'm going to focus on the damage aspect of this case. And we have three types of damages, as I explained yesterday. Number of infringing products sold multiplied by patentee's profit margin and infringer's profit royalties. In this case, the second one was the application of second type of statutory damage was litigated. And this is the actual language of the patent law giving the profit-based damages. Okay, I'm gonna skip this part. And this is the issue, as I said before. A defendant argued that Article 102, Paragraph 2 does not apply because plaintiff doesn't manufacture or sell the patented products in Japan. They are only an exporter to Japan. They are just an England company. And in the traditional view of Japanese courts, you must work the patented invention in Japan so that you can enforce your patent in Japan. That is a traditional view. And what is the reason why? The reason, first we start what Article 102, Paragraph 2 presume. That paragraph presumes the amount of loss, but not the existence of loss. That's a basic start point. And plaintiff must prove the existence of loss before applying Article 102, Paragraph 2, because you have to have some damage before you are using this presumptive clause. This is a basic start point. And second one, what fact supports the existence of loss? That is usually plaintiff's work, because you are doing business here in Japan. That you may be deprived your profit by infringer. You are not doing in Japan. You are not doing business in Japan. There's nothing to be deprived. That's a basic idea. And this is actually what often courts say. If plaintiff doesn't manufacture or sell the patented products, plaintiff couldn't have gained a profit even if defendant didn't infringe the patent. There's no but for situation. So there's no causation. In conclusion, plaintiff's use of patent invention is required to apply Article 102, Paragraph 2. This is the traditional view. And the issue in this case, first one is patentee's working of patented invention required? Majority affirmative. Many judgments reported, in this regard. All judgments before took this view. And the second issue is, if yes, is domestic working required? In this case, defendant said yes, because of territoriality of patent law. And the plaintiff said no, because territoriality is not relevant. I agree. And if yes, ending up with violation to national treatment under Paris Convention, I doubt. And judgment. Judgment started with the introducing defendant's argument, and the same thing I'm going to skip. And this is a main point of the judgment. However, the above described defendant's allegation is unacceptable. Taking into consideration the facts that Article 102, Paragraph 2 of the Patent Act doesn't contain any wording requiring the working of the patented invention by the patentee. Actually, there's no word. And that, as described in I'm sorry, this is not cited in this presentation above. Said paragraph was provided for the purpose of reducing the difficulty, improving the damage amount. And further that, since said paragraph is merely a presumptive provision, it would be unreasonable to impose especially strict requirements for the application of said paragraph. You can't put more, additional requirement on paragraph 2. And therefore, the act of working the patented invention by the patentee may not be regarded as a requirement for the application of said paragraph. This is a conclusion. And as described in A above, it should be construed that applying Article 102, Paragraph 2 of the Patent Act should be allowed where there are any circumstances suggesting that the patentee couldn't could have gained profits if no patent infringement had been made by the infringer. The court says, you don't have to use your patent in Japan, but you need some situation, you need some circumstances. Your market or your profit is deprived in Japan. You have to prove, some loss. There is some loss. That is what the court said. And therefore, in this case, regardless of whether the above-mentioned act of plaintiff may be regarded as working as provided in Article 2, Paragraph 3, 102, Paragraph 3 of the Patent Act, Article 2 is correct. Article 102, Paragraph 2 of the Patent Act may be applied. This is a logic showed by the court. And last part is about the territoriality. This contraction wouldn't make the patent right effective outside Japan and therefore would not violate the principle which is generally called the principle of territoriality. Based on these findings, it is reasonable to conclude that the defendant's allegation is unacceptable and that since Article 102, Paragraph 2 of the Patent Act is applicable to the calculation of the amount of damages sustained by the plaintiff, the damage amount may be presumed under said paragraph. All right. This judgment is generally well received by the practitioner or academics. And the defendant appealed to the Supreme Court, but they didn't take it. Okay. Next case is about Samsung versus Apple. Samsung versus Apple involving SEP issue. The patent was about some standard for telecommunication. Actually, I have to confess, I don't really understand the technology, and which is irrelevant. Okay, the timeline. September 2011, Apple filed for declaratory judgment of non-infringement. Samsung sent a warning letter to Apple